Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Ellen. So today is Monday, and sometimes I do these things called Mini Monday Madness, and so I thought, well, let's make some mini gift tags. Well, they're not mini, they're actual size, but when you use mini pads, like this Stonehenge Aqua Hot Press from Legion paper, these little mini pads, I have a link to it in my description box. You can just cut them and create them gift tags. It's like a simple project. Really simple. I go over how to draw these cute little guys step by step, and also have a bonus one like this one here and a couple other ones for my Patreon members so that they can draw and paint and create themselves. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's just a place people go support my channel. I have ad-free videos, traceables, exclusive tutorials on Thursdays, and a live stream in the top tier. And so today they have a bonus of 3 extra designs. I will teach everybody else how to draw the penguins and the polar bear. And so don't be freaking out about that. Really simple step-by-step instructions on how to do that and painting it. And it's an ink and wash tutorial, so less stress again. But you can add a little more elements to make it more, advanced if you want to, or don't. Because everything's stressful right now. Everyone's trying to get ready for Christmas, and so we want to make life easy. So this is an easy DIY tutorial, and like I said, I break this all down for you. So if you have any questions, leave in the comment section. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you haven't hit the bell notification button to know my tutorial's up, please hit that so you know my tutorial's up. So without further ado, let's get painting some gift tags. All right, so let me go over supplies you'll need. I used my little mini Legion Stonehenge Aqua Hot Press paper. Right, and just rip these out and put my little guys I drew in here on this. You just get some twine or ribbon, whatever you want to use, scissors to cut the paper, a hole punch to punch the hole in the paper. I'm using whatever brush makes you feel comfortable painting something this small. I mean, you don't have to use my brush. You can use an 8 long round, or 6 round, or 8 round, whatever works for you. I have my palette here, my paints. But basically just Christmas colors. You don't have to follow every color that I use, every paint that I use. Paper towel. If you have to have a fabric scissors to cut, if you have more of like a fabric type of ribbon here. So, like I said, on Patreon, you have the additional characters that I drew out. So you have, more of the guys you can use here. I'm just going to show you a few of these. I'm going to be showing you the penguin and the polar bear. And basically, draw some cute characters. I'm going to show you how I drew these guys. And you just slow the video down to help you figure it out. All right? Again, always look at things at shapes, right? So I look at a penguin, kind of an oval shape. Think of an oval shape, kind of like a peanut, maybe an oval, like an egg, right? And from here, we're going to do this kind of inside kind of shape. We're going to bring a bump down. So that's kind of like the main body. And then you put the arms out like that. Then you can put his triangle for the nose. And then here you're going to put the scarf going across, like here. Now I have him folding his arms up like that. My guy is a little different. So let me just, he's kind of tilted. So picture that, kind of oval shape again, but more like tilted on the side. Right here, and then put the arms up and here. See? And if you put the triangle here, so it kind of looks like an egg, right? And then I have the scarf coming out here. Actually, his arm was down here. Sorry, from the scarf. And then he's coming down here is a scarf. And then we do the little bump, and the other one that goes here. And then for the hat, it's just simple. You can do like a rectangle. I'm filling this in so you can see. And the little bump. And then you can do the little pom-pom on top. Little dots for eyes. And then the skates. So skates would just be like this. So picture if it's hard if you draw a skate, picture a kind of a small rectangle and then a little bump. And then just erase this. And then you have a curly-Q skate, right? So again, if you can just do that, it might be easier for you. A rectangle, little bump, and then little lines down, and then a curl and line across. Now, if you can just draw it straight forward, it's just line down, curve line, across, connect. So here we go. Put the skates here, and then facing the other way here, and then just a little pond, and wiggle, 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 and you're skating on the pond. And then you just fill in the scarf any way you want, stripes, plaids, polka dots. Now for the guy sledding, a little trickier. So he's kind of be like an oval, kind of peanut kind of shape. So you kind of curve and then bring it like a peanut, right? And then the triangle will be up here, little eyes, and then do that little maneuver. Now you just take a pencil and do this, and you're going to erase most of it when you're done. Here we go with this body part, right? And I'm going to have the scarf coming here, and the arm out, and the arm out, and then the scarf, whee! And the little frayed edge. And then the hat is off his body, see? Floating in the air. For the feet, just web feet, like a triangle. So curve like a U, up and down triangles, like almost like an egg, broken eggshell. And then for the sled, put a line here, curve, and come up here, curve, and connect. And then put a line here and a line there, and then you have this, the sled. And then you can have like the arm to the sled here, woohoo! And that is the penguin. And again, here on the scarf, you just add details. It could be stripes, it could be polka dots, and the hat, same. And then lastly, for the polar bear, little cute guy. So it's a little trickier for him, but let's try and make it work. I always start with the ear first, so it's a curve on its side, right? And then bring it all the way down. And then here you're going to bring it across. And then from here, you're going to go up and then curve down like a little mouth. See, curve up and down. There's a little nose, little bump. And then you add a line. See, and a little kind of rounded, squarish rectangle. And for the leg, it's a little bump and a bump. And then you can put the arm like this and then add the scarf. And then for the little tiny birds, remember it's like a little half moon with the circle, a little triangle beak, and little, of course it would be like maybe somewhere closer. Here's the eye for this guy. And just put the little scarf. And then again, with the polar bear, you add whatever you want to his body, scarf, whatever, and there you go. So that's the drawn version. Now I've already drawn mine out. And so, oh, I didn't mention, sorry. Also, ink. This is one of the bonuses for Patreon members, and there's a couple of other ones. There's a snowman and another candy cane with a bird on it. So I've drawn them out on the paper like this, right? You're going to take the edge of this and just cut the corner. Cut the corners of them with the scissors. Do that first, just get it out of the way so you don't know if you're going to paint on top of it or not. So you're just cutting the corners. Remove the corners, bye-bye. And then you can hole punch the center, right close to the top. Make sure it's not super close so you don't rip it. And those are your holes for your gift tags. All right. And then basically you've already drawn it out. You're going to redraw it again using a Sharpie pen or whatever pen. This is great because it's permanent. So it's kind of like doodling. Here we go. You're just going to take the same, cute little penguin, and you're going to draw out all the elements that we just drew, but a little tighter because this pen is a fine point pen. And you can add all these little details you want, and then I'm going to go back in and paint them. See, I don't want to bore you with me drawing all this in, so I'm going to draw all my little guys in and we're going to start to paint them. Alright, I've drawn all my little guys in, and I left this one, I did the stripes on this one with the drawing. I left this one blank on the scarf, so I can show you like an alternative way of it doesn't all have to be pen and ink in every situation. we could take some red, which I mixed up some red here. If you have red color, watercolor, just mix up some red, and we can make a little plaid just by painting that in alone. I'm going to make my red a little thicker because it's hard to see it if it's beating up. Now, the difference between watercolor cold press and hot press is that hot press is flat and smooth, and so the watercolor kind of sits on top of it. I'm just going to go back here, and you just really use a little bit of the paint, teeny tiny bit, right? Just going to go like this. I'm going to do a plaid. I'm going to have to wait till that dries, and then I'm going to cross over onto the painting stripe that I just did, and I'll cross over it. Meanwhile, I'll figure out if I want to do red anywhere else, if I want to, you know, on this person, on this penguin. I'll let that dry, and I'll go in and just use this one. Same paint on my brush is still sitting there. I might as well use the paint up. So I'm doing red and white stripes, or I can do red and green stripes. I can play around with all this. What I love about the ink and wash is that it's, you know, it's just like doing a doodle, and you just go in and you fill in your doodle. So I filled that in. I had some green paint I already mixed up. There's no need to show you how to mix a green paint. I think you guys are good at that. What I will show you is just take some nice green paint, go right over this whole thing. And if we have to see those two lines, we can make those two lines a little bit darker. It's like a guide. And over the whole hat. Right? And then you figure the skates could be like Paynes gray. So I'll take some Paynes gray and just fill that in. And the little pond will be bluish. His body, of course, would be Paynes gray. You know, you could do it now. I think I'm going to wait to paint that because I don't want to get, you want to do that dark color last. You want to get all your light colors in first. So I'm going to do red and green on this scarf. It's somewhat dry on the red. I don't want to bleed the green into the red. Just playing with the colors I already have. And you can see this is pale red. I'm going to go back in and fix that. And the same thing, I'll make this hat green so it kind of coordinates with the other one. I'm just going to fill this in. So I left this one kind of blank too. I can show you to fill it in. And fill in like all the yellow golden colors. So of course the beak would be like a yellow golden triangle. And then the web feet on this one. Fill those in. For the sled, I'm just going to take some burnt umber. I'm going to loosen that up, you see here. And I'll make a nice brown wooden sled. Just going to fill this all in. And we'll do some detailing with this. I know this is just going to draw it and fill it in, but you can add some detail like shadows, some finite details if you want to go crazy. You don't have to do that. So the red is dry. Let's go for the other pass. See, now we have a cute little plaid. And I love to paint the plaids. I just think it's cute. I mean, well, you know, at Christmas time, everyone's got plaids on. So you're just taking the same thing and you're crossing over. Isn't that cute? You can add a little deeper color to this where the two meet. If you want to just tippy tap a deeper red right in there. Isn't that cute? And mix up a deeper green. Little guys. So I just have like I use Prussian blue, his Prussian blue, with a little yellow. This is cadmium yellow deep. And see that nice deep green? It might be really bright. You can add a little burnt umber to it to tone it down a little bit. So this is what I talked about. So you take the green and the darker green and just fill in those little lines. Right? You can make these little teeny V's so it looks like a knitted cap. So it's a teeny V, little V's. And kind of go across the hat like so. Isn't that cute? If we want to do another line. I feel like another line. I know, I just felt like being crazy. Here you can just paint that all in. So do the double line. And maybe on this one I'll put a stripe with the darker green. Ta-da! So now we got those in. I'm gonna fix this red over here. I feel like it's a little, I'm gonna add some, it's a little too light. It needs to be a nice bright Christmas red. That's the beauty of painting light. Don't go in dark right away. If you go in later, say it's that dark red, I can go in here and there's little squares, and now it really pops like a gingham where the two squares meet the paint. Isn't that cute? I think they're so cute. Don't have to spend so much time on this. So then I'll take my Paynes gray. Gonna loosen up my Paynes gray over here, if you can see it, and fill in his body. Just going really fast. Woohoo! I missed a spot over there. I should have put green or red. Doesn't really matter. Just fill in the penguin. And if you leave like white in between, like where the ink line is, that's fine. It's like a nice loose look. I probably could have made the skates red or something, but I made them black. And then same thing with this Paynes gray over here. I'm just going to loosely stick this in. And we're going to add a little bluish gray color to his body to give it some depth. So I'm just kind of loosely filling this in. Other little details I didn't draw that we can add. Little cheeks. So I'll clean off my brush. Grab a little red. Could make little cheeks on both penguins. Oops, zoom in too much. Right? And so for the body, you can grab some like ultramarine blue or whatever blues you have. A cobalt. I have a little cobalt that's watered down, and I'll just take a little line here under the scarf, around here in the white areas. It just adds a little something, a little depth. And then same cobalt blue I would use for the little skate rink. It's watered down cobalt blue. Fill that in, and we can add a couple other shadows to it. See, and you get all this blue. You see how it enhances that white area of the penguin? It just seems kind of meh. I'll go in and I'll put this little green part that I missed. Right? And then when this blue dries, we'll take a deeper blue. Maybe add a little, I'm going to add a little Paynes gray to it. And I'll have a little shadow here from the penguin skating. And that's the penguins. You could add a little teeny shadow under the scarf if you want over here. See, I'm making it more, have more depth, more interest. It may be a pen and ink wash, but then you're adding all these elements, right? And if this dried really light, you can just basically take your Paynes gray, almost like butter, and go back in and add the deeper, darker shadow here as well, right? And for the polar bear, a lot of the blues, so I've talked about the cobalt blue, so here's the cobalt. I have some cobalt right here. Just a palish blue. He's white. He's a polar bear. So you just want to enhance, I mean, that's a little too bright. Water it down, tap in the paper towel, get it light. But even if it's just bright blue, it doesn't matter. See, I'm adding just like around by his body where I drew, around the edges, kind of tapping it. By the way, I just drew in his nose with the black. And then for the snow, same thing. Maybe you could add a little gray color to it, so a little Paynes gray. Just kind of like go out here, shadow of the snow. See, I'm just kind of loosely sticking that in. Nice pretty bluish gray if you want. Little snowflakes out here, just a line down. They could be as thick and thin, simple. I'm just making some simple ones. You could do some little dots for snow. And the bird. I'll make the bird red. On my little extra one, I made him blue, but I'm making a little red bird. Fill it in. It's so tiny, right? Green scarf. So that dries. I put in a little green tiny scarf. Now this is so tiny. Don't worry about the values on that. You can go cuckoo. And this scarf here, I'm gonna do like a nice pretty light. I'm gonna water the screen down a little bit. Well, it's gonna dry pretty late. And then we can do a nice dark green stripe. Trying to make life simple when that dries. Right, and here, you, like I said, what you do is you add a little maybe gray to that blue, and you can make a little shadow under the scarf, and here on his little feet, just in the ear. He can have a cute little pink cheek too. So I'll water my brush down. I'll grab a pretty red tone, pinkish tone, and give him a little cute cheek. See how cute he is? The green is it still damp? Well, it's still damp. You know, think about the shadows on, I didn't do this one, on the penguin sled. I can go back in and add some Payne's gray to my brown, get a little bit darker, and put a little shadow. Oops, a little too dark. Water this down a little bit. See a little shadow from his bum right there. It would be darker on the inside of the sled anyway. And then here, see, just all these little details enhance. Okay, just a little bit darker still. You see that? It just adds a little more depth. All right, this should be dry. And I'm gonna go with my darker green and just fill in this cute little scarf. It's a little still wet, but that's okay. I feel like the green got a little too pale. I might go back in with a little deeper color and just enhance it. Just a little bit. You know, it's all preference. Adding a deeper shadow, just like we talked about. All those things come into play. All right, so when that's all dry, we'll take, so we already did the hole punch, we already did the hard work. If you want to put snowflakes around the penguins, that'd be cute too. I actually think I might add those. Be kind of cute. Just simple little snowflakes. Crisscross applesauce with the lines. That's all you're doing. Crisscross applesauce. Say cross and then cross again. So I use this, I got this twine, kind of funky twine. I think I got it at Michael's. Just take out as much as you need for your tag. Like I said, you could use anything you want. You put it in here, like so. And then we have our cute tag. Isn't that cute? That is. I think they're so cute. And just cut up a couple more of these. Try not to cut my fingers on the camera. So, you know, you tie this to your present. And then you can write in the back to and from. You know. And here's my bonus one, and then I have a couple other drawings. And there we go, gift tags for the mini Monday Madness. It's a mini pad. You know, if you figure out what the heck do I do with these mini pads, well, make some gift tags out of them. You know, that's a great idea. I was thinking about this morning. I'm like, well, you can make some gift tags. If you don't have any gift tags, you want to make some cute gift tags, or you just feel like being creative and having fun and don't want to be stressed out. So these are things that pretty quickly you can paint. You know, I mean, maybe a little more intricate with the penguins, and this one for the Patreon members, but think of just candy canes or trees, and then just do a little twine and cut it. So you can use this paper pads for about multitude of things. All right, so that's it. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't hit that bell notification button, please do so you know my tutorials are up. And please, guys, have fun. Don't stress out. I mean, God only knows it's so stressful. The holidays are very stressful. People are all in high alert. They make it that way. Don't let them do that to you. Just create and have fun. Okay? All right, take care and have fun.